What if I told you that right now without realizing it? Someone is influencing every decision you make, what you buy, who you trust, what you believe. This isn't a conspiracy. This is psychology. And once you see these 7 tricks, you will never be manipulated the same way again. The human brain is not a rational machine. It is a pattern recognition organ built on shortcuts, emotions, and deep-wired instincts. And the people who understand this, the marketers, politicians, leaders, negotiators, they use it every single day. Not always against you. Sometimes to inspire you. Sometimes to move you. But the question is, do you know when it's happening? Today we are pulling back the curtain on 7 psychological principles that silently shape human behavior. Study them, use them, and most importantly, protect yourself from them. The moment someone does something for you, your brain fires an alarm. It says you owe them. This is called reciprocity, and it runs so deep in human psychology that entire business models are built on it. Free samples at the grocery store. A thoughtful message before the sales pitch. A favor before the ask. Studies show that when a waiter brings a small mint with the bill, tips increase by over 20%. Not because the mint was valuable, but because the brain felt a debt it needed to repay. The trick is not the gift. The trick is the obligation the gift creates. Now you know, and next time someone gives you something unexpected, pause. Ask yourself what they want in return. Here is something most people never think about. The first piece of information you receive about anything permanently anchors your judgment. This is called anchoring, and it is one of the most powerful forces in negotiation. Pricing and persuasion. When a store shows you a jacket originally priced at $400, now selling for $180, you don't think that's expensive. You think that's a deal. Your brain grabbed the first number and everything after it was measured against that anchor. Salespeople know this. Lawyers know this. The person who names a number first in any negotiation almost always wins, because they set the anchor everyone else swings around. Now let's talk about something that keeps people up at night. The fear of missing out is not a modern invention. It is a survival instinct. For thousands of years, if your tribe moved and you didn't, you died. That ancient fear has been rewired into modern behavior, and the people selling to you know exactly how to trigger it. Limited time offers. Only 3 left in stock. Thousands of people are viewing this right now. Every one of those phrases is engineered to make your brain shift from thinking to reacting. Scarcity bypasses logic. It creates urgency that feels real even when it isn't. The antidote is simple but hard. When you feel rushed, slow down. Pressure is almost never as real as it feels. Here's a trick so subtle most people never catch it. If you want someone to say yes to something big, first get them to say yes to something small. This is called the foot in the door technique, and it works because of a fundamental human need. The need to stay consistent with who we believe we are. Once you agree to something, even something minor, your identity quietly shifts. You become the kind of person who says yes to this, and when the bigger ask comes, your brain fights to stay consistent with that identity. Political campaigns use this. Charities use this. Relationships use this. A small commitment today is the setup for a much larger one tomorrow. We are social creatures down to our DNA, and nothing hijacks our decision-making faster than knowing what other people are doing. This is social proof, and it is everywhere. Reviews, follower counts, bestseller lists, laugh tracks on sitcoms, lines outside restaurants. None of these things tell you whether something is actually good. They tell you that other people chose it. And because the brain is wired to reduce risk by following the crowd, that is often enough. The dangerous version of this is when social proof is manufactured. Fake reviews, inflated numbers, paid testimonials designed to make you believe everyone else is already on board. Before you follow the crowd, ask who built the crowd and why. The brain gives dramatically more weight to avoiding loss than it does to achieving gain. Losing $100 feels almost twice as painful as winning. $100 feels good. This is loss aversion, and it is one of the most exploited psychological principles in existence. Insurance companies sell it. Subscription services use it. Negotiators weaponize it. When someone tells you what you stand to lose by not acting, they are not informing you. They are activating one of your oldest fears. Understanding this doesn't make you immune, but it makes you slower to react. And slow reaction is where good decisions live. Finally, the most underestimated trick of all. When someone tells you a story, your brain stops analyzing and starts experiencing. Facts are processed in the language centers of the brain. But stories activate the sensory cortex. The motor cortex, the emotional centers. You don't just hear a story and you live it. This is why a single personal story moves more people than a mountain of statistics. It is why advertising shifted from features to narratives. It is why the greatest leaders in history were not the ones with the best data. They were the ones with the most powerful stories. If you want to influence someone, stop giving them information. Give them a world to step into. Here is what ties all 7 of these together. None of them work on logic. Every single one of them works on feeling, on identity, on fear, on belonging. The human brain was not designed for the world we live in. It was designed for a world that no longer exists. And every day that gap is being exploited by people who studied these principles and built systems around them. But now you know. And knowledge is not just power, it is armor. Share this with someone who needs to see it. Because the first step to not being controlled is knowing exactly how the control works.